In this tutorial, I want to show you how you can change the shape of and format your data labels on your graphs in Microsoft Excel with ease. So here we have a bar chart with some pretty cool data labels that's in the shape of the star, a nice 3D bevel effect, and some black outlines. So to show you how to do this, I'm going to return the data labels to their original state by clicking Control Z a few times. You see the zoom change as I was moving stuff around. Okay, so here we have a chart with just some basic data labels. And to enter these data labels, all I have to do is click on the chart, click on this plus sign right here, and then check and uncheck the boxes for data labels, which will toggle them on and off. Now, data labels, in a sense, are more or less objects in Excel in terms of how they're formatted and how they're treated. So to edit the shape of the data label, first click on one of the data labels. As you can see, this little blue boxes will pop out on all the data labels. Click it again if you only want to edit one data label, but click a data label once to edit all the data labels, then right click. And then here you can change the shape of the data label by going down to where you can say change data label shapes, where you can select one of these shapes right here. I'm going to select this down box right here. As you can see, now my data labels have this down box, but this is kind of hard to see, right? To make this easier to see, in terms of the box itself, I can change the outline and change the fill. If I right click on the data label and then click on outline, and I can have a black outline for example, and maybe just a darker blue fill. Now the data labels pop out a bunch more. But the interesting thing is that the way you can edit these expands much beyond what you see by right clicking right here. To edit them further, you can click on the data label, and you'll see this option at the top called Format. Click on Format, and you can change these shapes. One thing is that you can change these to be almost any shape that you want. Click on Change Shape, and click the shape of your desire. You can have it be a smiley face, for example. If you want it to be plus sign, arrows, what have you. This is the star I was using right here, but I'm going to have it be this star, for example. It looks really funky, obviously, but you kind of have to pick the data label that you want and format it accordingly. Going to pick the star that I had earlier. It just kind of continues the same example. And one thing to note is that you can also change the fill to whatever fill that you want, even in upgrading the texture fills if you want to. I'm going to have it, let's just say, be a green fill, for example. Now let's change the outline. You can do whatever outline that you want. I like black because it pops a bit more, but you can also change the weight of the outline. So if you have a shape with a thick outline, you can even have it be dashed. And I just have different outline settings that you want it to be to kind of best fit your needs. In this example, I'm going to go with just a bit of a thinner outline as an example. So you can tell there's an outline, but not as much as you want. You can also have text effects if you want it to have it as well. Some of these may look kind of funky, but you can really edit these to be what you want them to be. And one of the cooler things I think is that you can apply shape effects to really apply maybe some glowing, some shadows, for example, some shadow effects, for example, or some beveling, so these data labels really pop off the page. As you can see, by adding basic shadow, these data labels now pop off a bit more. And you can also kind of just mess around with these settings to really get them to be what you want them to be. Inside beveling, for example. Now it didn't work because I selected the chart, not the data label. Got to be careful about that, of course. Shape effects, bevel, and have inside bevel, for example. And yeah, just kind of mess around with the settings, explore them, tinker with them to really get the effect that you want in data labels. But no, there's a lot of flexibility in editing them. That said, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.